Testing. There we go. All right, guys, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Another live stream tonight. What is going on? Yeah, I was actually taking a piss. I had to take a piss. Just fucking switch the microphone around. I mean, it's supposed to start at 8:15. It started at 8:16. You give Trump an A, took the plus off the Epstein. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Trump's grade is going to be incomplete for a while. I mean, you can grade him based on what's happened, and there's been some really good things, some tough things. What grade would you give Trump so far? Well, I had Trump loosely at like a B before the Epstein stuff. I don't know how much the Epstein stuff. We'll see what happens with the Epstein stuff, but the Epstein stuff's not great. A minus. Predict Trump's major announcement he's about Russia he's going to make on Monday. Trump's making a major announcement about Russia. Did it sound positive or negative? It seems like there's been a lot of negativity with Russia. I don't know. There might be a mineral deal in the Donbass region, but there's been a lot of negativity, so I don't know. There's going to be an announcement with Russia. Oh, we've got more protesters. So it's just the constant. It's just never ending. They're protesting the. I'm gonna adjust my chair. They're protesting the raids again. William, I appreciate it. Why doesn't Russia come in an agreement? Can you explain why? Well, it's obvious they want more land or they want more leverage and negotiation. They are not pleased with the current situation as it is. I mean, they also are much more powerful than Ukraine. No matter how much weaponry we send to Ukraine, their military is going to be outnumbered significantly. We also don't know for sure what the situation is with Ukraine. A lot of this is fog of war. You'll hear constant reports about, well, they're running out of men. Well, they were running out of men a year ago. So when are they going to really run out of men? Like this whole, they exaggerate like Ukraine is running out of men. We've been told that for a year and a half. Now, maybe it's happening at some point. It probably will. They're outnumbered just in terms of sheer numbers against Russia. Did you see Trump going off on Doge cuts? Yeah, they're trying to cut they're trying to cut those the NPR, NPR and PBS. We'll see if they end up doing it. Where does Nasdaq 420 go from here? Well, right now it's I mean, I think it's still. I think it still looks great for a massive move up. Honestly, when you look at it, we'll have to see though, man, because you know I've read some things about us maybe a little bit of an alt resurgence, and then it goes back down one more time. I mean, there's got to be there's still a heavy BTC dominance. So, but I heard the alt dominance has to go, or the BTC dominance has to go up again for us to truly be closer within the next 2 months. I don't know. I think Nasdaq. I think it's gonna at least stay over 3 or 4 million, man. It's got to. Hopefully, it goes way up. Ukrainian chicks are hot. They are. We better not go to war with Russia over Ukraine. Is that a serious thing? I mean, I don't know. I'd have to see what Trump actually said. But then I just get recommended this complete. Well, here it is right here. Trump to make a major statement regarding Russia. Yeah, it's not going to be war. I mean, they have. There's been some bad blood recently, at least over the airways, with what Trump's been saying about Putin. You found both the I'm black clip and the but the clouds had other plans clip. They're in the same stream. What a legendary stream. What a great stream that was, if that's true. You're fully back on board with Trump and apologize for melting down. There's nowhere else to go. Those three. Well, there's a lot of people counter signaling against Trump. I think I'll be having an Epstein video come out soon. Maybe tomorrow. We'll have to see. Just recapping, what the deal is with Epstein. You thought NPR cuts were in the Big Beautiful Bill? You swear you saw that somewhere? Also, did gutting the judge contempt enforcement make it? Well, I think the NPR cuts are something different. They said the NPR cuts were part of the Doge cuts, I believe. It's like government efficiency. We're not going to spend money on media, like state media. Any news on Panama? I haven't heard anything about Panama. Nothing on Panama. But I didn't look it up or anything like that. But if there was something big, I'd probably see it at some point. I don't know what this major statement's going to be. See what people are speculating. Strategic escalation and holding the Kremlin accountable. More sanctions. I mean, what are sanctions going to do at this point? I guess you have to do something. I don't know. I don't know if sanctions are going to do much. Do an Epstein video with all of his ties to Israel. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I got like 8.5 minutes through it, but it probably needs to be about 15 or 16 minutes. But normally I don't do videos like that long. But I got about 8.5 minutes through. It's not. I don't think it's gonna be all the ties, but it's most of the ties. Did you see Bitcoin today and Canada tariff? I actually didn't see this Canada situation. I've been waiting for the tariff update on Canada. But yeah, Bitcoin's going crazy right now. So they're going to have some type of negotiation with Trump. It looks like that Trump is giving him a deadline, August 1st, 35% tariff on Canadian products. So this was just announced. So that's why I didn't see it. Report Trump approves attack plan on Iran, order pending. That was what I titled the stream. That's where it is. You don't think Trump did anything illegal with Epstein or ever go to the island? But oh no, I 100% agree with you. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about my rationale behind it, and it's one of those like guilt by association. If you talk to Epstein, you're seen in. I mean, liberals will just show like photos and stuff, but Epstein talked to everyone that was in that scene. I mean, he was an elite. He was an elite person within finance, and he had so many different connections. So he's going to talk to a lot of different people, not just Trump. And of course, you would think Trump running 3 times. I mean, obviously, people completely distrust the government, so they could say, well, they're all involved, so they're not going to out Trump because their entire thing would be blown up. But I don't believe that. Dems are saying Trump is losing midterms because, well, of course, I mean, it's a very micro, or yeah, it's a micro picture. view of it. They're gonna say, remember when we got into the war with Iran? They said, oh, he's gonna lose midterms now. So whenever there's these, and there it's all this just this hyping up of everything. Every news event that happens, they hype it up. It's the next big thing. It's gonna lose Trump, the midterms. It's a political eternity until the midterms. And look, we'll see what happens with it. Epstein meeting with Barack. Yeah, well, Barack came to his penthouse in New York a few times. That's in the video that I'm doing. Yeah, he came to his house and he covered up his face with a scarf. The former Israeli prime minister. Yeah, that's not weird. They were saying Howard Ludnick lived right next to him in that in New York. Trump was on the Epstein list. CNN would be running the cover-up story nonstop instead of the BS trying to blame him for the floods. Is that what they're doing? They're blaming him for the floods. That's really the liberal thing. Is anytime there's some type of disaster event, it's like always Trump's fault. Like we didn't have these terrible events with other. I mean, these flash floods happen. I don't know what to tell people. There was some really catastrophic stuff that happened under Biden, and then they try to do the fear mongering with the all the planes are falling out of the sky and there's not enough air traffic controllers. And the reality was it was much less than even the previous year, the previous 2 years. There was no. And also the other thing that really shut down that story was the unfortunate situation. Was it in DC, or I think it was in DC, with the helicopter, and what happened with that, with the woman who was completely in the wrong and the plane crashed into her. Terrible situation, but they were saying, well, that's because of Trump and it was her fault, and Trump said it was DEI, and it's absolutely right. You ever see Howard Ludnick was neighbor? Yeah, that's what I was saying. I have to put that in the video, honestly. That is a crazy thing. That I mean, that's just shows you how the government operates. Why would any of these people knowingly put themselves at risk of blackmail? Well, I mean, I understand your skepticism, but you see the photos with Prince Andrew. I mean, this it happened, and it's obvious that they say Epstein's main value was creating leverage, whether it's for Mossad or the CIA. That was his value. Nobody knows how he got his money. He got his money because he managed. He considered himself a manager, and he managed Leslie Wexner's entire portfolio, and he gave him power of attorney over all of his funds, and that was his only client, a multi-billionaire. Doesn't Wexler or own Victoria's Secret, and they would use models from Victoria's Secret? I mean, the whole thing is it's terrible. And then it's just they Epstein is the one who goes down. They likely off him, or they do off him. I don't, And then well, I guess Maxwell went down as well. But what, 20 years? What's the current streak up to? What, for my streams? It's I don't even think I streamed on Saturday or something. So it might be only like 4 or 5. It's not noteworthy. I'd have to think about it. I think I've been streaming since I think I streamed on Sunday. It would be Saturday. Yeah, because I didn't stream on Saturday. So it would be 5. You think Donald Trump would use tariffs to pressure for Greenland? I don't know how much. I mean, yeah, go ahead, tariff Denmark at 500%. I don't know how much trade we do with Denmark. I'm not sure Denmark is that reliant on us necessarily. But I think it would be more so maybe a NATO thing. You would threaten NATO. I mean, at some point with Greenland, if he wants it, he's going to have to be the aggressor, unfortunately. Unless something crazy shifts. I don't see how he gets Greenland without really, really pushing it. Because it's been a lot of words. It's been a lot of words from Trump that he wants Greenland, but there's very little actual physical action. And Denmark is just, they're not going to give it up, even if Trump can say he wants it all he wants. But there's going to have to be some type of action. You've been in really bummed out mood since Trump punted himself in that cabinet meeting, putted himself in the cabinet meeting. Where do you think we go from here? Do we just accept Israel will have us by the balls until we collapse revolution? Well, I mean, I want to see. We're going to have to see what Trump does, because Trump, somebody has to tell Trump, one of his advisors, that it's a really bad situation. The base is not in a good spot, and maybe Trump will listen and do a 180 and release something. I mean, that's the hope. The hope is that something ends up coming out of this rather than them just memory holing it. But it is a very bad look when, I mean, Netanyahu's there for a prolonged visit of 3 days right after they do the dump on Sunday night of. I mean, it's just a terrible look. I mean, what are you gonna do? But I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. It depends how far right you are. Some people are passive about this. Some people get really angry, and it depends what you want for the future of the United States as well. Trump won't invade the territory of a NATO member. Yeah, I mean, I don't think really. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I'm not sure Trump really cares too much about NATO. He was a lot more nice. He was much more nicer at the summit, though. To be fair, who knows if that's real? But it seemed like he was because they were upping their defense spending to 5% of GDP, so he got happy about it. But he's also been a lot nicer to Ukraine, and now he's upping the. They're going to announce probably the big sanctions against Russia. I mean, this is what the Democrats did. Now, technically, we are getting money back from Ukraine, so you can say it's different, but. Have you seen the ICE raids going on? Yeah, I mean, sometimes I say, it's like they're trying to deport illegals. There's so many illegals in this country. There's 30 million illegals. There's going to have to be raids. I don't know what people want. And then they make them so hard. Obama uninterrupted can deport like 700K people, no due process. Trump tries to deport like 100K, is pretty much the only number, like maybe 150K so far. And there's all this it's just, it's so hard to get things done in this country, even when you have a mandate, even when 60% of the country wants it. These ICE agents go out, they're stopped in the middle of the road, there's protesters, they've got the BLM flag, they've got the Antifa flag. They're screaming, they're assaulting the cars. They're still doing it. It's a constant thing. They're still in California doing raids on farms, I saw, and there was a big issue. Just released the client list with Clinton and Prince Andrew. Yeah, no, I hear you. I think something has to come out. They're going to have to do something. If they try and memory hole it, it's going to be a big problem, because then it's just a full cover up. But it looks like there's a tariff on Canada. I mean, this was all going to come out really because the deadline is passed. See the clip of the Portland noisemakers at the ice place where the black lady screams at them? They're a bunch of low energy freaks and furies. I mean, this is just. I'll search ice. Knowing this search engine, it'll probably show up as like a fucking glass of ice. Oh, yeah, this is John Fetterman. ICE is performing an important job for our country. Yeah, liberals hate Fetterman now. People are saying he's going to become an independent. Mayor in California calls all residents to stay put in their homes because he just learned ICE is in the area. We urge all residents stay indoors. Do not open door. They're harboring illegals. Let's arrest Brennan and Comey. Well, that's the distraction. I feel like that was and that was all set up, dude, because they knew on Sunday night they were going to drop that. On Monday, they try and appease the base, but it didn't work. Now, whether or not anything will come of the Brennan and Comey investigations and what they're going to do with that, I mean, that was very clear appeasement. Just wanted to say again, you really are one of the best political channels out there. Been listening since pre-election and happy to see your channel continue to grow. Yeah, I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, I mean, it's the channel is, you know, it has turned mainly political, and that's fine. I'm going to try and get back to doing more videos. I've been doing about 2 videos on a live stream. I might try and do 3 videos, or because I know there's really a 9/11 video I should do, and I should really pound these videos out, but there's a 9/11 video, there's a Titanic video maybe, although I don't know if that's even worth doing, and the stadium stuff. I mean, there's different videos I can do. I've been a little bit light on the videos. I mean, I guess it is the summertime. You know, it's just harder to do the videos when it's this hot out. It's a challenge because it's just not comfortable, honestly. You know, you like it to be a bit, I mean, it is cold with the AC, but when it gets to like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it's just unbearable. Yeah, this always seems to happen in the streams. They start demanding this. I don't know why. Liberal woman screams.
To booze and frustration, Key West commissioners voting 4-2 to enter into a 287G, that formal agreement with the feds on immigration enforcement.
Tonight, I had to vote in support of signing the 287G to give our chief of police the authority to assist, not to go out there and to raid. It's to go out there and to assist ICE.
The public comments stretched nearly 3 hours with an only in Key West musical serenade.
The oranges piled in their creosote dung. You're flying them back to the Mexican border to pay all
I don't even know what this is.
their money to wait back again.
Residents in overflow rooms and packing the lobby.
We want to make sure that everyone can see that immigrants keep our island alive.
By making our police officers act as hitmen for ICE, the excellent community rapport we have had with our police vanishes.
We need to protect home first and then help with immigration law second.
Tonight, the world is watching Key West.
Last week, the city voided the agreement signed in March because it was executed without the full commission. The Florida Attorney General then sending this letter threatening the city with criminal penalties. He's in the back of this Border Patrol car. We've embedded with federal agents in other parts.
Yeah, well, Key West is the southern part, most southern part of the 48. A Brennan Comey investigation would have been red meat for the base if it wasn't a blatant distraction from the Epstein list. Yeah, right. And so, I mean, I think they knew they had to try and come up with something that would be a heavy hitter, but even that isn't going to make up for the Epstein stuff. So, and also people just kind of view it as an insult to their intelligence. Like, oh, don't pay attention to this anymore. Pay attention to this. Look at the light. Look at the light. Portland black lady yelling at ICE protesters.
Turn that shit down! It's midnight! I will turn it down. I would love to. You just have to ask me, and I'm being nice even though you're screaming at me. Fuck you! I'm coming back every night! I'm destroying and wrecking your shit! Turn it down! We the people need sleep! I've been out here 2 days straight protecting your dogs, baby.
Communists get told off by black lady.
You heard what I said, bitch!
Talking to us calmly would be a hell of a lot better than...
Go
fuck yourself!
Decolonize your fucking ass, bitch!
Go fuck yourself, bro. I don't give a fuck.
How dare you talk to a black woman like that? The spoiled white girl.
Clean up your ass. I'm naked. Come on, I'm ready to go.
Dude, imagine what they would have done if it was a white dude who came out and said that. But it's a black woman, they have to be like, oh shit. Like, they're trying to talk back to her, but they're like, well, our ideology doesn't really allow us to talk back to marginalized communities. Trump threatened to bomb Beijing. Why are you watching low substance videos? This must be your first day watching Trump. Trump threatened to bomb Beijing. Dude, come on. Trump says a lot of stuff. Oh, the Epstein lawyer. Yeah, the Epstein lawyer is on flight logs going to the island as well. Dershowitz. Pentagon is becoming the largest shareholder of an American rare earth mining company. Where's this located? Probably California. Yeah, it is California. I just wanted to see where it was located. Rare earth supply chain here in Canada, Greenland, Ukraine. Yeah, that's the mineral deal with Ukraine. No more Chinese dominance. I mean, this is true. You know, this is one of those things that's not sexy, but it is very good. You have to decouple yourself, but it also is more in the refinement zone. Is this refinement? Yeah, I know. That's what I was asking. They gotta. Did they do refinement? They have to do refinement. I mean, that's what we need. They better. They're doing refinement domestically now. Trump told Xi Jinping he would bomb Beijing if Taiwan invaded. Xi replied by telling him that there was no power that exists on planet Earth that can stop China from taking back Taiwan. Is that serious? And that was yesterday? Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes Trump says stuff. I mean, it seems like, well, that does seem like Trump's ready to defend Taiwan then. You know, people were wondering if that was, if he was going to be into defending them. What percent chance do you give Chiefs going to Kansas? 70%. Yeah, I mean, I think it depends mainly on the ownership being pressured by fans to keep Arrowhead. That would be the only thing, and even that I don't think is that high. You know, the fan pressure is one thing, but business with those billionaires, they're going to go wherever the money is, and the money is in Kansas with a new stadium, unfortunately. Probably. I mean, unless they get a good enough deal from Missouri, I don't think they're going to get a better deal than the one they're being offered in Kansas, though. Reducing student loans and grants going to hurt Gen Z support of Republicans. No, that was never a big thing. I mean, you look at the total debt that's within it. It's all the women that owe a bunch of money for college. The the male debt is being paid off increasingly well. The college debt. The female, they're already liberal as is. I mean, Biden tried throwing them a bone, and then he went around the Supreme Court, and I still don't even think that went anywhere. They did it for like 20,000 people or something only. In terms of getting rid of, like, I think it was like $10,000 worth of student debt that they got rid of with some people. Trump's approval rating is going to be shit if he doesn't do something with the Epstein files. Haven't seen a negative Rasmussen in a while, but poll came in at -3. Yeah, I know. Well, I saw that, and that's a daily poll tracker, so it's certainly not great. Certainly not great. But it's one of those things, it's a very, very short-term look. If you're going to do a daily poll tracker, which that's what Rasmussen has. I mean, I guess it could capture the base kind of turning on Trump in real time, but I don't know. I'm not sure I would say that's overly reliable. We need Taiwan. Building chips here will be expensive. Well, they are building chips here. It was originally under, Biden, they wanted to do it with that infrastructure deal. Or no, the CHIPS Act. Well, maybe it was under the umbrella of the infrastructure bill that they had, but they had the CHIPS Act, it went nowhere, and then Trump tariffed the hell out of them, or threatened to tariff the hell out of them, and then they invested into building significantly, around $100 billion, Taiwan did in the U.S. We have to develop domestically. It's too big of a risk to rely fully on Taiwan with their precarious situation with China right now, I would say. Is he going to bomb Beijing? No, Trump makes all these threats all the time. Arms sales during Trump 2.0 will exceed any other administration. I don't know, remember the COVID rush? You couldn't find anything. They had no supply of anything. Everyone went out to buy guns in 2020. The supply chains were just shot. They would limit the amount of ammo you could get. Like, should we invest in the possibility of developing real battle droids? Yeah, we're gonna have to develop droids for sure. I don't know where the tech is on that. I know Boston Dynamics has some interesting tech with robots. Musk has some interesting tech. Those are gonna start being deployed at some point. Great video on the Chiefs situation. Thanks, I appreciate it. Why is Rubio trending? With X, it was even before Elon took over. The trending is kind of meaningless now. Like, all of this stuff, it's like, I don't even watch. Who's watching Big Brother? Ryan Nebhard? Cooper Flag, Summer League, Justin Bieber. Oh, I guess some of these trends are, but a lot of it's like, this is all promoted. Superman, that's promoted. Fetterman trending because of what he said. And then a lot of these are just like niche trends. I don't know. Yeah, so they brought out Grok 4. I don't know. They always say, whenever they release the newest AI model, it's always the best thing. We have too much components in the military sector coming from China. That's why you're worried about drones, for example. We are way behind. Well, I feel like it's impossible. I mean, how do we really know we're way behind? I don't think we really understand the tech that we have and we don't have. We don't understand the tech that try and get information, actual, real information that's semi-accurate out of China for any just normal person. All of their information is just, it's like malaise. You can't get any real information on their economy, and then they're all every 4 weeks they're collapsing. You'll get videos that they're collapsing. It's been going on for years now. They do it on the internet every 4 weeks. You know, they had the zero COVID. I think the zero COVID thing really hurt them, but to what extent, you can't even. I mean, maybe it's real. Maybe they are suffering. Apparently, they're suffering from heavy deflation and a very bad crisis of youth unemployment, is what I've heard about China. You want me to look up this company? Hyperscale Manufacturing Arsenal. Drone Weapons Factory. Sean Spicer saw the full list.
This is not an opinion. This is a fact. I have seen.
Oh, this was.
Remember, I was accused falsely in the Epstein, and ultimately I was completely cleared. The woman admitted that she may have mistook me for somebody else and withdrew all of her lawsuits. And so from day one, from the day I was accused, I said I want every document out because I knew every document would prove I was innocent. So let me tell you, I know for a fact documents are being suppressed. And they're being suppressed to protect individuals. I know the names of the individuals. I know why they're being suppressed. I know who's suppressing them. But I'm bound by confidentiality from a judge and cases, and I can't disclose what I know. But I hand to God, I know.
I mean, this dude's on the flight logs to the island.
Know the names of people whose files are being suppressed in order to protect them, and that's wrong.
Just out of curiosity, without names, are these politicians, business leaders, both?
They're everything. And let me tell you, a lot of them are, at least one of them is somebody who was accused. Others are accusers. And the judges have said, if somebody calls themselves a victim, we're not going to give any information about them. But they may not be victims. They may be perpetrators. So we don't have information about false accusers. And we know there have been many false accusers who have accused innocent people for money, and those records are being deliberately, willfully suppressed, and they shouldn't be suppressed. If the accusation is allowed out, so should the material that diminishes the credibility of the accuser. We want total transparency on this. Every single document, no redaction. That's what I've said from day one. I waive any of my rights of privacy. Anything there is about me, I'm happy because it will be exculpatory, because I know I haven't touched a woman other than my wife from the day I met Jeffrey Epstein. I don't even hug people, but I was falsely accused and I was able to prove it. And I was able to prove it through documents. And I want other people to be able to disprove false accusations through documents. But these documents are being suppressed and withheld.
Well, he's saying, oh, let's release it so a bunch of people can be proven innocent through documents and false allegations. That's what he's saying. He must know nothing's going to come out. Remember how DeepSeek R1 was supposed to be the next big threat to AI dominance, and now it's totally old news? Yeah, remember? Well, that's a lot of really like far left people in the United States are obsessed with China, and so they got excited when they released that. They said, well, they did it in such a low budget, and I remember that. Trump is on the flight logs too. No. Trump is on the flight logs, not to the island and not with Epstein. You know, there's a lot of people on the flight logs. A lot of people took that plane, but you know, Epstein. A lot of the times, Epstein wasn't even in the plane. The plane didn't go to the island. So it's two different things. This lawyer went to the island in the flight logs. Juan, what's up? Would you say that if Biden deported as much illegals instead of letting them in, would Trump have been as strict, or would he have been willing to work out a deal? Well, I mean, it depends how many, what the situation would have been. If Biden would have had a stricter border, it would have been harder for Trump to get all this money from ICE because, you know, the easier it is, you know, the more illegals in this country, the more people are going to be against it because there's too many. So that's how Trump was able to get all this money. Really, that's one of the big things with the deportations. I mean, when you look at it, Biden probably let in a minimum of 2.5 million people per year, and Trump might be able to deport 1 million, maybe. That's the goal. So, I mean, it just goes to show you the dire situation we're in. Dershowitz hasn't been elite since maybe 1995 at best. If he was on the Epstein plane and island, then anyone could have been. He is low tier at best. Well, he's one of the main people that they reference. In terms of being involved, Kevin Spacey's another one I see. Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew. But I mean, you wouldn't really need compromising information on him. He's a lawyer. Thoughts on Russia hoax? FBI is going after them. Yeah, I mean, the Russian hoax was terrible. It was a complete waste of time, waste of money, waste of resources. That was the political definition of a witch hunt, and they still try and defend it. They kind of have to try and defend it, liberals, because it legitimately lasted 2.5 years. For you to come out and say, yeah, we fucked up, we were so obsessed with Trump, and we didn't want to admit he won, there had to have been some type of help, some type of foreign help. It's very hard to admit that. So they still try and argue that, you know, Trump has these ties to Russia, and that's the reason he won. It is kind of crazy that, you know, in a way they couldn't accept him winning in 2020, so they had a 2.5 year, almost 3 year investigation to try and prove that he cheated. And then January 6th happens and they all threw their hands up and said it's the worst thing ever. After having an investigation for 2.5 years trying to prove something that was never proven, it's a complete waste of money. You think it's a huge clue? There are probably thousands of people who went to the island and it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, I think there's a lot of conflicting information. Well, what Dershowitz is saying is he's saying that apparently a lot of the people supposedly are innocent. I mean, there have been some lists that have come out that were false. They were false lists. So there's been thousands of people that have been accused. So he could be referring to many different people or many different lists. There was like a list about people that had gotten COVID, celebrities, and that was one of them that they used for sure. I remember that. So I don't know. He's probably referring to a lot of people that were lightly accused. Trump had a fallout and banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago in 2004, but Epstein's legal problems only started in 2005. So it's not like it was to save face. That's a good point. That's a good point. And with Trump, I mean, I can't see. I mean, you look at the timeline of Epstein and then the plea deal that he got. And then what was it, Alexander Acosta coming out and saying, I was told to give him a sweetheart deal because he was an intelligent asset. He said that in 2019. It's like the former labor secretary was being questioned on why he gave Epstein such an easy plea deal and like a sweetheart deal. He was allowed to leave prison and only had to go during nights. I mean, it's just crazy. And he's like, well, I was told he was an intelligent asset and he was to be protected or left alone, something like that. What are the chances Trump was the one that called for him to be? No, Trump didn't call for him to be killed. I mean, that's ridiculous. It doesn't even make sense. Now there's a lot of people that I'm sure wanted Epstein dead and the situation taken care of. Look at Virginia Giuffre. I mean, they take care of these situations. It's really sad. This is. He was aware of Epstein being a PDF and still hung out around with him. Well, I mean, when you're in social circles, I mean, he Epstein was hanging around with a lot of high-profile individuals, and I mean, who knows what Trump really knew about Epstein? That it seems like that's speculation. Hillary Clinton killed Epstein. I saw I saw the AI video. Dude, Alex Jones had to put satire on it. That was hilarious. They released a fake video of because in the memo they put the video of the CCTV and they inserted Hillary Clinton going into Epstein's cell. Christina, thank you for the $50. I appreciate that. It's very nice. Trump did not run on exposing the Epstein files. He ran on lowering taxes and closing the border. He has done both. And why didn't the former administrations do it? No, I agree with you. And that is an important point. That's what I've been trying to argue. But, the former administrations protected, and honestly, you could argue it's even worse with them. Now, Trump has said he's tried to make it go away, but there was a cover up with the Biden administration. Why didn't Democrats pressure? Why didn't the people pressure Biden to investigate this and release something? So no, it's both sides. It's a uniparty problem. That's why liberals really can't say anything about this, because they had 4 years. And if liberals are out there saying, well, yeah, but if liberals are saying both parties are involved, if liberals are saying that Trump is guilty and he went to the island and they didn't release that, I mean, that's a terrible look for the Democratic Party. Trump was a high status celebrity, and that's the exact type of people Epstein would hang around with. Their relationship was not suspicious. Yeah, no, I agree with you. They try and, well, I mean, it's just a bad look if you lack context on the situation. It's going to be a bad look. YouTube, thank you for that. You rather know Epstein list than Kamala being prez? Yeah, I mean, that would be the worst. I mean, it's just Republican versus Democrat. We're going to take a Republican for sure, just based on core issues, let alone all this other stuff, this outside stuff. Just core issues, you definitely take Trump over Kamala. Cash and Bongino were both rabid for Epstein, and Trump appointed them both. Doesn't make sense. He'd do that if he didn't originally want to release the Epstein. Yeah, I know, but the thing is, that's interesting with Trump, he was never really extremely excited about releasing the list. They would always have to basically force it out of him. So I understand what you're saying, but there was never any like crazy initiative that Trump ran on releasing the list. I mean, they would ask him and he'd be like, I'd probably release it. But he'd also say that, he was scared people were on it that were innocent. I think he probably knew people that were on it, or he had heard rumors of it. And so, there's a lot of mixed feelings about releasing it with him. Did you hear about Kash Patel's girlfriend? I think I just heard she's Jewish. I'm guessing they say, she's probably related somehow to Mossad or something. But I don't know. That's the only thing I know. Neocon candidate over Democrat candidate. Neocon. I mean, that's going to be a no. I can't do that. But I can't do Democrat either. I can't do either of those, honestly. But we're so far past neocon, even though people accuse Trump of it. It's clearly something different with Trump. Will the Doge cuts pass through the Senate? Yeah, I mean, that's what Trump is lobbying for. It's like the cuts to the NPR and PBS bullshit, like broadcast networks getting government money. Trump doesn't like it because he thinks they're negative against him. And really, why should they get money anyways? I mean... She's young. Yeah, well, that's an interesting one, right? That's an interesting girlfriend to have. 20 years younger than you, and oh yeah, I wonder how that relationship happened. Right, that's how it happens, man. Have you looked into Alligator Alcatraz 2.0 in North Florida? There's one in North Florida now. I know the 1.0 is in South Florida. Yeah, they were complaining about the Alligator Alcatraz. They're like, oh, there's no air conditioning, all this stuff, and all the... I mean, these are detention centers. They're not 5-star resorts. They're meant to process people and deport people. Watched a few PBS documentaries before. They're all bias for libs. They need to be defunded. They're all bias. That's ridiculous. How are they getting government money if they're biased towards a political... And they are biased. I mean, you can tell they've got a bias into them. Are you going to release your We Want Your Resources? Yeppers. Yeah, remember that? That was a play, the Yeppers thing. That was back during the election. Dude, the city, I tweeted out I might want to make a video on this. I used to make a video on abandoned mega projects. They got one small building, like a quarter of the way built. Just like on the bottom. Yeah. Fatherland.
I'm not a voter in New York City, and so I have no dog in that fight. And everything that I've read on him, I don't really agree with virtually any of it politically. So that's just where I'm at as a Democrat. I mean, so he's not even a Democrat, honestly.
Do you want to take?
Fetterman very likely will be running as an independent, they're saying. Fetterman's approval rating is the worst out of any senator within the Democratic Party right now. He looks homeless. It's a common thing with Fetterman. He just never dresses. It's been like 1,000 years since you watched the Fatherland clip. It's a great clip. I mean, I think I've got it saved as a bookmark, maybe. Or maybe I retweeted it on this account. They're reenacting the son, like, telling on the father because he went to the January 6th. Because I didn't break any laws. What's this Rogers clip? I don't know what they're talking about.
Secretary, thank you so much for having me today.
First up, the environment for these ICE agents.
Yeah.
You know,
Kristi Noem, where, you know, she's talking about Trump. Deportations. Yeah, this is the thing. Have you seen this clip of this police woman? Being a police officer, it's a man's job. We all understand this. There's some jobs that are for men. There's some jobs that women can do. We're two different, but it's like we're doing this. This woman gets punched in the face probably by, I think it was, you know, some immigrants, and she starts crying. She starts bawling after getting punched in the face as a police officer on the job. Yeah, it's going to be alt season very soon. You got to give it some time, but it's warming up. It's warming up. The alt dominance is still down. I mean, but you can see the money flow. There's so much money flow in so many of these alts. You like police body cam vids? Yeah, police body cam vids, it could be entertaining. I used to watch them. I used to watch some of the police content. I think everyone likes the police stuff. It's just interesting human interactions. Getting punched in the face should be mandatory for police training. Well, they should have to complete some type of vigorous thing or something. I don't know. I would just say it's just not a job for women. You know, you're dealing with violent criminals, a lot of them male. It's probably not going to be good. Any big news just happened now? NASDAQ just went down over 100 points in the last 15 minutes. Yeah. John Fetterman announced he's running for president. So that's the reaction. No, I'm kidding. I don't know what happened, man. I think there might have been a tariff announcement against Canada, 35%. Maybe that did it. Who's worse, Matt Walsh or Steven Crowder? Steven Crowder. I haven't heard of Steven Crowder in a while. I think he went to Rumble, Steven Crowder. He went to Rumble exclusively. But I see some clips of him sometimes. Matt Walsh is, I never really liked Matt Walsh, honestly. Just kind of looks like a weirdo to me. But I mean, I don't know about Aaron Rodgers. I'll go to it just because people inundate me with this stuff. It's just like,
I was at the game. 52-3. You guys blew him out. I remember the score. It was a blowout. You remember the score? Yeah. Who did we play? Saints. Yeah, good. It's on the ticket. It is. I can tell you the score, I think. Thank you. You can tell the score? I think it was looked at 50-3. Did I play? One pass. How many plays, though? A couple of passes. A couple? I don't remember that. I remember you threw a pass. Who did I throw? Thank you very much. Oh, wow. I don't remember like that. I was 16, 20 years ago. I remember. Yeah, you got a great memory. You could look it up, though. Then I would believe you, then I would sign your thing. But since I don't believe you, I'm not going to sign it. Okay. Better probably look it up. No, I mean, I was at the game. Oh, you're an autograph hound. You personalize it. You're an autograph hound. No. Yeah, you are. Can't fool me. Can't fool me.
Right, so he's gonna, resell it with the autograph on it, and the athletes get angry about that. But some of the times, even the autograph people, they'll send their kid up with it, and the kid will get it, and that's how they get it. So it was a situation where the guy goes around, tries to get a bunch of autographs, resells it. NASDAQ futures down 140 points. Dude, I'm telling you, it's because of the China tariff or the Canada tariffs that got announced. What else could it be? What else could it be? I mean, there's some tariffs that got announced, and sometimes that sends the market a little bit lower. I actually have a good autograph. It's a small autograph, but I developed an autograph like 5 years ago. I've got a pretty good autograph. Voting should be seen as a privilege rather than a right. That's really not an unpopular opinion. Depends on the space you go to. A lot of people believe that, though. I mean, obviously, liberals it's gonna be unpopular for them. Who cares about NASDAQ? It's whatever you like. That Bitcoin hit an all-time high. Yeah, what is Bitcoin at? 116 now? Bitcoin's at least going to go to 150, maybe 200, I think. Favorite cocktail? I don't drink. I don't drink, man. Imagine if you did an out of nowhere, totally divisive and serious video like women voting was a mistake. Here's why. Well, I mean, you can certainly argue things like, but I mean, the thing is, when we say that, like, our point is kind of, I always feel like whenever we say that, obviously we're going to want women not to vote because we would get very far right-wing politics, right? So we're going to like that. It's just like liberals probably want 16-year-olds to vote. So it's like, I mean, I guess we can try and justify it and say, well, this is why. But, you know, a lot of the justifications are basically that it's not necessarily women can't vote and only men can. It's only certain individuals can vote, which would exclude some men and pretty much all the women. That's the argument that I've seen. Told me to invest in Bitcoin. My coins are doing well, man. I mean, I should have definitely put money in Bitcoin because Bitcoin was destroying alts for like 7 straight months, but you know what? I'm gonna rotate into Bitcoin. I don't know if I'll rotate into Bitcoin because I might just rotate into USDC. When I make good money, I'm gonna rotate a lot of it into USDC, exchange a lot of it for fiat, probably put it into NASDAQ 100. Thank you for the donation. I'm really a female. I'm Gen X. Can someone teach me how to highlight a person's name in order to respond to them in the chat? I don't know how to do that. I think you just have to hit the @ button. Oh no, you have to hit the comment you want to respond to, and then I think it'll give you an option to respond. Something like that. I don't know. Just DCA. Yeah, DCA into stuff. I agree. But now it's you just gotta hold. You wonder who are the 90 million people who didn't vote? Who are in the United States? Yeah, well, normally we get a turnout of like 60%, 65% sometimes. U.S. voter turnout. Two-party system waters down interests of a nation. America needs a dictatorship. Yeah, I mean, a dictatorship, though, it's, you know, you may think you would like a dictatorship if it had your leader in charge, but you know, normally those dictatorships do not end well. There's always some type of power struggle. But I think, I've flirted with the idea, and I think it's something that should be discussed. If you only give presidents 8 years, it's a big problem. But then people are just going to say, well, you just want a, hard conservative in for like 20 years. But it's a problem. There's no cohesion. The Democrat does certain things. The Republican takes everything off, puts other things on. The Democrat takes it off, puts it on. And I know it's this balancing thing, and we've been able to do it. I mean, but the country, I think, flowed a lot better Democrat to Republican to Democrat back previously than it does now. Now there's just so much animosity and polarization. And so it's a lot. It seems like it's just like we're running in basically water trying to do things. You see Mike Pence interview today? No, I didn't. Did Mike Pence have an interview? Yeah, the Trump just put the tariffs on Canada. That's what it was, right when I went live. Student demographic divide. Yeah, well, it's in part due to immigration and people coming into the country, and a lot of these people don't want what's best for the country. They want what's best for themselves, and then there's other people that develop some type of guilt over their history, and you have a combination of immigrants who don't care about the country and some white liberals who hate the country. It's gonna be very hard to have a good political system when you've got a combination like that. I mean, the amount of immigrants that we've brought in over the past 40 years, I think it's 30 million more. This is even just legal immigrants than the next closest country. I mean, it's really only Western countries as well that are bringing in these hordes of immigrants. Flowed better because it was literally a uniparty. 90s and 2000s had no difference because rhinos and yeah, but even the 90s Dems were a lot more conservative. I mean, maybe conservatives were a little bit more liberal, but look at Bill Clinton and his stances in the 90s. Look at what he did to welfare. He would be seen as a moderate now. That was just in the 90s. Like that's where the party has shifted. I mean, I guess both parties have become more rigid in terms of shifting further to the left and further to the right. Both parties are going to accuse each other of being far left or far right. So I guess there's been more of a shift, which has made it to where. But I really think if you just look at certain issues, to me, liberals have shifted further left than Republicans have. I think Republicans definitely still have. To me, they've just shifted out from being more to more anti-war from the neocon era. Liberals, I guess you could argue their establishment is still in control. And people say Trump is establishment now, but he really wasn't establishment in 2015. I mean, the party got taken over by whatever Trump's base was, the MAGA base. The establishment did not want Trump to win. They would have taken Cruz, Kasich, Rubio, you name it over Trump. Trump was a total outsider. Now, Trump already had connections. It wasn't like it was the most completely organic thing. If you're a multi-billionaire, you're going to have serious connections to the inside. So it's not like a total outsider took over. But it's just a little bit different. Seattle Mariners pitcher throwing a no-hitter against the Yankees. I feel like there's barely been no-hitters this year. There's barely been any. There used to be a lot because baseball has just no offense. They just try and hit home runs. So many strikeouts, or there were. Maybe it's been corrected. Do a Canada tariff video tomorrow? Yeah, probably. I mean, if it's this big of a reaction, I'll possibly do one to the market. Yeah, I just do these tariff videos, basically, because I try and title. I gotta find something to title it. So I have to title it based on the tariffs. No-hitter gun. Toyota, Subaru, and Nissan said they will be bringing the tariff cost into U.S. consumer. Well, we'll have to see. I mean, one of them is going to have to undercut the other. It's a competitive market. If we really wanted to try and isolate China, wouldn't the best thing to do be tariff China only? Well, what you have to actually, you would, because China would just send all their goods. They would send them to countries surrounding them, and then those countries would trade with us. That's why the trans-shipping is a heavy tariff on a lot of these countries. You know, the trans-shipping tariff is like 40%. It means any goods coming into Indonesia that are not from, and then when they ship them to the United States, those goods that don't originate in the country, whether it's Taiwan, Indonesia, you know, that's a higher tariff. You have to tariff the other countries surrounding China, because China will just offload all their goods to the other countries, and the countries would do trade with us with those goods. It's a way to get around the tariffs.
I watched a little bit of the cabinet meeting this week, and I saw Secretary Bessent speaking very glowingly about the projection is $300 billion in tariff revenue this year. Well, tariffs are a tax, and American importers and businesses and ultimately consumers pay almost all of that. And so literally a week after we managed to extend the Trump-Pence tax cuts and prevent a $2,000 tax increase on working families, the administration is right now boasting of the fact that that the average American household is going to see about $3,000 increase in the cost of goods, because we're paying that. So that's why I referred to Liberation Day. I said could well be the largest peacetime tax hike in American history.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be doing a video on Epstein. It'll come out tomorrow. I got about 8 minutes done. 8 minutes of it'll probably only be like 12 minutes long. There'll be a video on Epstein, Mossad connection tomorrow, probably. He's on America Party. He's not. That's a troll. They're trolling Musk. They got to be trolling Musk with that. There's no way they would have Pence on the America Party. It'd be bad for them. I don't even know what Pence was saying. What was he talking about? Something about the tariffs. I was looking at the chat. ICE is raiding farm workers in SoCal, no amnesty. Yeah, that's great news. But you have to wonder, because Trump already announced it. Trump did already announce there was going to be some type. It's not amnesty. It's like temporary work program. But yeah, there's a lot of this. I mean, this is like a war zone.
Protesters who have showed up to vehemently protest what's going on here. And just in the last few minutes, Customs and Border Patrol helicopter has entered the scene here. They are landing in the middle of the farm as we speak. It does appear that they were not planning to be here as long as they have been. And so this helicopter that you're looking at here, guys, apparently just made a run over to Van Nuys Airport for some cases of water, which is what they're bringing into the scene here. So there are a whole team of ICE agents at the farm. There are other agents down there as well as the National Guard police standing guard and protecting Laguna Road as this enforcement action takes place right here, going into hour number 4 this afternoon. Again, a major situation transpiring.
So they're doing a massive farm raid in California. Weed farm raid. Blackhawks raiding farms. Yeah, Trump had to be like, let's just move on from the Epstein stuff. Send in the Blackhawks to raid the weed farms. Trump's on a kill streak. 8 kill streak. What is it? Blackhawk. UAV's like a 3 kill streak. Spy plane. Spy plane's like a 2 or a 3 kill streak. UAV's a 3 kill streak. Care package is a 5 kill streak. This is BL1 I'm talking about. Valkyrie rockets. Grim Reaper. ICE knows where they. Yeah, they really are. These illegals, they all work in the same areas. So you're gonna get a bunch of them. I mean, they're all working in the same areas, and I mean, you would think they would just self-deport at a certain point. They see all these raids. I mean, hopefully it'll improve the self-deportation numbers. Pavlo 9 kill streak. Trapper is also 9. Dogs, remember Dogs 11 kill streak. Dogs. How long until Israel convinces Trump to bomb Iran because, according to them, the operation failed? Well, Netanyahu said they're not developing anything. Did you see he said that yesterday? He said they're not developing any they're too scared to develop anything. So hopefully nothing happens. I mean, you know, it was a good operation to get in, get out, and I think we're done with it. I think it's gonna be not a problem. I mean, you know, anyone that says it's a problem, you're just projecting. You're projecting. We don't know what's gonna happen. Lawrence Franklin, Stewart, no, Zeddy, Jonathan Pollard, Ben Kishta were convicted spies for Israel. Israel sold U.S. secrets to the Soviet Union and China. Yeah, well, I mean, Pollard is a real public one. Feel like you're the type of person to eat an exorbitant amount of Greek yogurt? Am I on the money? No, I really don't eat. I don't eat a lot of Greek yogurt, man. I mean, I've had Greek yogurt before, but I haven't had Greek yogurt in probably a year or two. How far in GTA 5 do you have to get before it's actually freedom and open world and you can do whatever you want? Well, you just got GTA 5. My goodness. Well, I actually don't even. I don't know, man. Yeah, no, that's. I would only do the open world. I don't like the fucking story. That what is it? Campaign? They call it campaign. I don't like the campaign. I like the open world. Well, now with GTA, it's all about the multiplayer or what? No, online. It's online. That's what the GTA is. That's all any of them play is online. They're doing raids right now. They got a big problem in Central Asia. Russia is doing raids. You think COD Zombies will ever return to the OG style? Yeah, well, dude, the thing is with me, I would be ecstatic if they just put everything back on and made it the exact same game mechanics as BO1 and then just released more maps. But that's just me. People don't like that because they say it's too simplistic. Because I didn't even like BO3. I thought BO3 was it's just like, I don't want the Gobblegums. I think the Gobblegums are bad. But if you're talking about like BO1, there's no chance they're ever going to do it. BO3, maybe at some point if it gets really bad. I mean, I think it's already, they've already ruined it. I don't know how people still play it. Now it's like, it's just terrible. I mean, the HUD is horrible. It's just all bad. BO3. Or no, just the zombies mode now. BO6, whatever it is. Now they got BO7 coming out. It's going to be terrible again. They just can't do it right. And so it's sad to see, but I mean, I'd like them to go back to BO1, honestly. BO1 or BO2, I'd be happy with. Remember it was Nazi Zombies and they had to rebrand it to just Zombies. They took out all the swastikas. They still got the swastikas in BO1, but they took them out in BO3. Reagan was amazing in BO1 and World at War. Yeah, World at War was really bare bones zombies. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it had a lot of glitches. Game mechanics were kind of bad. I mean, dude, this Defiant L, what is it? It's just like freaking trending slop. $1.5 million followers.
I mean, at least with respect to academic questions, I want to just emphasize this point. With respect to academic questions, Grok 4 is better than PhD level in every subject, no exceptions. Now, this doesn't mean that at times it may lack common sense, and it has not yet invented new technologies or discovered new physics, but that is just a matter of time. I mean, at least with respect to
Yeah, well, AI is going to get out of control.
We didn't need the National Guard in Los Angeles. He believed we did, even though we had protests that were well under control.
You like Mexico? Good. Go home. What if someone just ran up to him and said, "You like Mexico? I've got great news. I've got amazing news. We can help you. We can help you with your going to your country. We can give you directions." Are you also DJings on YouTube? Yeah. Yeah, that's a secondary channel. You wonder how Musk got his hair transplant? This shit is perfect. Everyone else fails. Yeah, I think Musk said he got 2 transplants. You know, it cost him about $50K. Yeah. You can see the hairline's a little unnatural, but this trend.
Because nobody admits anything they've done! Living off a coffee.
Yeah, I think you might be overestimating yourself there. How come Iran is able to deport more people than the most powerful nation in the world? Well, they have a lot more. You know, their leadership has a lot more power to be able to do whatever they want, and you know they're a serious enforcement arm. So it's easier for them to do that. I mean, I know I was like, wow, they deported 500K people in a month. That's extremely impressive. It's very impressive. So I was impressed by it, but when you have a when you have a political system like Iran has, it's easier for their leadership to enact certain things quickly. Did 20 years in the army when 9/11 happened. You knew we were all going to war. It's crazy how your career all revolved around that event. I appreciate the donation. Yeah, what a terrible, terrible time that was. And now we've got Colossus. She's a babe. Scroll up. Also check Palantir. Who's a babe? The girl? Yeah, you'd probably be looks match with her. Klaus, you'd probably looks match. You'd be perfect for her. You'd be the sugar daddy. Optimus.
I talked to President Trump man to man, eye to eye, on St. Patrick's Day about this and the Kennedy files and the King files. It was all one conversation. And he said, and I agree, there are a lot of names associated with Epstein that had nothing to do with Epstein's conduct. They maybe had lunch with him or maybe had some correspondence for one thing or another. If that name gets out, those people are destroyed because there's not going to be any context. Media doesn't care about context. So you can't do that. You can't destroy human beings by putting out the files, whatever they may be. I talked to President Trump man to man, eye to eye.
O'Reilly sounds horrible. Yeah, he's getting up there. O'Reilly's take is legit. If Dershowitz, a total nobody, was hanging around the island, all kinds of people were. There's way too much collateral smearing. Yeah, I think it could be a mess as well, and that could be a problem. Do you ever let your cat outside? No, he's an indoor cat. So he doesn't go outside. Ethereum pump for the third day. You're actually so hyped. Yeah, this is going to be great for the alts when Ethereum pumps. We need more money dumped into Ethereum. The rotation. It's a legendary rotation when it happens from Bitcoin to Ethereum. Defiant L. Oh, isn't that a liberal or whatever? You have a beta house cat. Chad Cats. Well, he wanted to go outside. I don't let him go out. He does want to go outside, but you don't want to let the cats out, especially if there's coyotes or it's a wooded area close here. We're near woods, so you don't want to let the cat out with the animals out there. It's not a good thing. Imagine hundreds of fake victims, thousands of innocent smears. A mess. Yeah, I mean, it might just be a problem in terms of just the encompassing amount of people involved in the situation create such a clusterfuck. Or the Haitians. Yeah, well, that's another one. In Ohio, that's another thing you have to account for. You hear the college NIL? Dude, the NIL rules are just so pathetic. I mean, I feel like no matter what they put in place teams are just going to cheat because there's no enforcement arm. And they have like this clearinghouse thing now. They're just going to cheat. Like, this is stupid. I know they're trying to like really clamp down on it, but what they would have to do is they would have to destroy a team. They would have to, a team that cheats, they would have to go after them and they would have to say, we're bull banning you for 10 years. Like, that's the only way that these other teams are not going to cheat. And what even is cheating nowadays? None of it's going to hold up in court. I mean, because they think players should be paid whatever they're worth. And you have to be able to do that. Trump was a lock for election and then he killed gambling. Dude, I don't know what that was. That's crazy that Trump put that in. That is very bad for gambling. Does anyone know where's the gambling lobbying to get that out? That's crazy that was put in. AI could be crazy. We could have formulas and build guides for a warp drive within a year. The models exceptionally grow. Yeah, I mean, AI is just, it's so impressive, and it's certainly destroyed the use of Google, and the nuance of it is just insane with AI. I mean, just the language models are, everyone uses AI every day. I mean, it's a must. It's a must. You have to incorporate it now. More FBI raids. Yeah, they're wrapping him up. I think Trump feels he knows he has to do this. He's trying to appease the base. Under the FDA, under RFK Jr.'s watch, has granted full approval Moderna new mRNA COVID-19 vaccine for at-risk children age 6 months. Now, that reads like they're giving the COVID vaccine to children. I don't know. Maybe very fringe cases if it's at risk. Maybe it's like 1.1%. You know, at risk, it's anti-gambling policies are associated with neocons. I was surprised because that's one of the things that got included when they brought it to the Senate floor. They included it, and then the gambling people were like, "This is insane." If you want to appease the base, get some convictions of insider trading. Yeah, that's always a hard one. Online gambling takes away money from the state. Well, there has to be a reason they're doing it, but still, it's pretty brutal. I mean, they're making it to where they just don't want people gambling. There's not a big incentive to gamble. Chances the Epstein list is ever mentioned again in the administration, probably pretty low, honestly. I mean, I guess some of it'll depend on how bad Trump tanks. I mean, at a certain point, if Trump is really tanking, I think they're gonna have to do something out of desperation. But I don't know. I mean, a lot of this is like just the base will be angry and then they'll be fine. I feel like that's what they're probably thinking. The base will get over it. We'll do a bunch of raids. We'll announce an investigation. Sports gambling was killing sports. Yeah, I agree 100%. All those props and stuff, it really was. You ever consider putting your cat on a leash? I don't really think cats should be on leashes. It always looked peculiar to me. I mean, like house cats I'm talking about. The leashes are too big. It just doesn't look good. And then their bodies are too small. They don't have a collar. It doesn't really make sense. Now, if you have like a bigger cat, I could see like a wild cat or something, or a forest cat, a bigger cat with a bigger coat of fur. It would be more understandable. Maybe like a small lion, domesticated a little bit. I see leashes with them on, and sometimes at zoos and stuff. I don't know about a very small house cat. The proportions of a leash doesn't really make sense. Are you gonna get a tiger at 1,000,000 subs? I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen if I got a lot of work to get to 1,000,000 subs. What about the people who put their cat in a stroller? Well, now you're babying the cat. You don't want to do that. Cats don't belong on leashes. They'll freak out. Yeah, I don't think they like it. You know, they make different size leash. Yeah, but it just doesn't even the smaller ones. It's not. It doesn't really work with cats when you have leashes. Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge? Well, I mean, in terms of raw skill, Ohtani's better. In terms of who's better all time, probably Judge. Andrew Yang video. I don't know what you're talking about, honestly. I'm not sure. Novak still in it? Wait, are they still doing Wimbledon? Yeah, I think Wimbledon is through like the 14th. It's through the weekend. They're still doing Wimbledon. You think the weather seeding companies had anything to do with the floods in Texas? Probably not, no. Russian drone crashes. Russian drone shot down by American forces in Lithuania. Did you see crypto winter is starting earlier than expected this time, according to AI? What? What AI said that? What language model spewed that garbage? Any wedding advice? You don't want to spend too much money on a wedding. Weddings are very expensive. I mean, it depends your financial situation. If you're rich, I guess, but weddings, they're just very expensive nowadays. It's like 20, 30,000. I don't know, maybe it's more. Grok 4 said that. Well, you know, I'm not sure what it said exactly, but it probably, if anything, we're gonna have an extended cycle when you think about it because of the amount of money in crypto. And I don't know what they're talking about, prolonged. We're not even. It's a bull run right now, technically. Ever go to the gas station? I mean, sometimes I go to the gas station to get a drink. I don't know. I don't know what my channel stats are, man, in terms of that. Gender, it's like 90-10. Gender is 90-10. Most people that watch my channel are around they're 25 to 34. That's the age range. $5K to go. It's closer to 4K. I think I'm at like 295 and then like 700 something, 750. I was looking at it. Yes. You're 16. You're 20. Yeah, well, we got some old people here, but some young people as well. No way 25, 34 talking about gooning. Well, there's some young people. I mean, it's all ages. You identify as 69. Yeah, that from that answer, you're probably about 14. You're 87? Yeah, we do that. We understand. The 10% females are 40-year-old guys. Yeah, I mean it's going to be heavily male. I mean, this is what it is. People always say, "Well, why is it so male?" Well, it's politics. It's a male-dominated sector. It's sports stadium news. That's 100% to 0 men. It's 9/11. That's actually a little bit more female than you would think, but it's probably like 90-10. Crypto 100% dudes. Yeah, but I really don't do many crypto videos. It's not like I have a lot of subscribers from crypto. I only talk about crypto is during my streams. Did you say Israel destroying the last Christian town in the Palestine region, destroying the churches? Yeah, I read some about that on X. Don't know if you saw it, but a protester opened fire at the ICE agents. I saw that. No, I did see it. Luckily, nobody was killed. I think that was a situation that happened a few days ago, and they neutralized it. Been following the anti-tourist videos in Spain? No, I haven't. They don't want tourists in Spain. I thought I saw that somewhere. I don't know, maybe it was Spain. Where they say no tourists, refugees welcome. It's like, oh yeah. Great strategy. That'll definitely work. It's like, it is very simple. There are very simple policies that can be put in place. Mass deportation effort, zero immigration. That seems like two relatively simple strategies that I don't see how that's that hard to put in place, but I mean, I guess in our system it is. What was the topic of your first video? It was well, the older videos, some of them got deleted, but the one on the channel right now is what would be the first video, is the election machine or some bullshit, some political game. Thoughts on age limits when dating people? Well, I mean, yeah, the thing is, this is the problem, is you know, and as a young man, you really don't have much value, so as you get older, you get more value, and, you know, women in their prime, they're, you know, if you're 28, 29, you're going to want to date a girl a bit younger. I mean, I think if you're like, you know, I think if you're 25, 26, 20-year-old is fine. I don't know how. I mean, everyone has their own opinion on that, but a lot of the women get angry because they get older, they get all this access to sex, and then they're not wanted when they get to the late 20s, the 30s. They're not wanted as much, and it's not something they really had to ever deal with in life, so they lash out about it. And they say, well, why aren't the men my age dating me? Well, we had really no options when we were younger. Remember the short form horror videos you made? A couple of those were legit kind of spooky. Yeah, I do remember that. I'll have to get back to that. I'll have to go out camping. You're totally wrong about young men not having value. That's not what's going on there. There are a lot of normal young women. Nah, dude, it's not even close to comparable. So, and by the way, the dating apps are a very easy example of young men and how ridiculous it is. Go look up statistics on it. By the way, that's by far the number one biggest way people meet in relationships is dating apps. And go look at how men do. Like like if a guy is a 7, yeah, he's probably. I mean, he might be able to get with a 7 on a dating app, but he's probably looking at a 5 or a 4. And these are all blanket statements, but it's just based off of the amount of women that are on dating apps, that aren't on dating apps, that are all going for the same guys, and then all the top guys are fucking all the women. I mean, it's a documented thing. This is how it goes. And dating apps by far are the most obvious thing to use because, again, that's where most relationships come from. It's like 60% of relationships come from dating apps now. Would you ever go on a date with a cougar? No. Preferably, a few years younger. I think that would be an ideal. Fetterman knows PA is tight, so I don't know if that's it with Fetterman. I don't really think he has I don't think he has the forethought to go and say, I'm going to calculate this decision and be in favor of this because it's going to help me politically. If Fetterman was really doing that, he's got the lowest approval rating out of any senator. Now, he might be trying to run as an independent, but... In which year will Bitcoin hit $1 million? Well, what is $1 million? $1 million would be about a 20 trillion market cap. So $1 million BTC is basically the market cap of gold. So it's hard to really say it's going to happen soon. I mean, it's just based off of what it's done in previous cycles compared to, it continues to do less of an X in every cycle. But I don't know if it'll ever hit a million. I mean, if it can, at a certain point, it's going to have to defy the 4-year cycle. I feel like if it wants to hit $1 million. Yeah, but you don't have to be a statistic. There are normal hot girls who don't use dating apps. Well, I mean, I'm sure there are, but we're just talking about general averages on how it is. Your last girl was 32 and you were 26. Yeah, that's interesting. That's rare. There's actually a really good predictor. The predictor model is kind of... I wonder if I can find that Bitcoin predictor, because I had it on here. I don't know if it's going to be on here, though. There's going to be all this other shit. Is it this? Yeah, this is it. Oh, I don't have... I'd have to log into it. But this is actually kind of good because, with this, it bases it off of history. The predictions for the other coins are terrible. They don't really make sense. 3-month prediction, it has to go, but what does it have it going to? 140K and then back down. Yeah, I don't know about that. But they have like a 10-year prediction on here. but I don't have it unlocked. Total market cap, man, the dominance must be like 65, 70%. Solana. Man, some of these memes. It's all the same. Yeah, I remember. I think I remember that video, man. I think so. I can't look at this fucking. It's too dark. It's too bright. It's too bright. Turn them off. You know, I watched that full clip of Trump. There was all the dude. There's all these moments of Trump from 2016 when he demanded the lights to be turned off, and then he wouldn't start the rally again until they turned him off. Astrology, yeah, the women are obsessed with that. That's. I never got into that. Don't understand, why would you rather invest in Bitcoin? No, I wouldn't, because you're not going to make much money off Bitcoin. You're going to make more money off altcoins that are lower in market cap. Bullish on monkey haircut and hee hee. Really? That's a type. You're investing in Solana shitcoins again, man. Wasn't talking about the incident days ago. Someone just opened fire. Another person. Wow. There's a big problem with these liberals doing this, and it's gonna have to be dealt with at some point. Yeah, astrology never really made sense to me. What do you think of the new crypto? Let me take a look at that right now. I think that's a great thing. They say you don't have to report. Huh. We don't have to report transactions. Oh man. This Trump winning in terms of my crypto taxes, Trump winning may have just, oh man. You can make tons of money in the short run. Not really off of, but you can't make tons of money off Bitcoin. You know, for Bitcoin to do a 2x, it has to go to $4 trillion. I mean, technically, Bitcoin's done like a 6x since 2021, but that was the cycle low. Or was it 2022, I think? 2022. You getting into the pump fund ICO? Well, didn't they say it was gonna $600 million? No, I never get into any of that type of stuff. One time I got into a really good pre-sale though. I remember that. But no, I saw the pump fund coin. I hate it. Pump fund has really ruined meme coins. I hope people are done with the pump fund stuff because it dilutes the market so much with how easy it is to create a coin. What's the most outrageous slop on pump fund? Well, I mean, you could probably look at the first page and find it. The Hitler coin. The Hitler coin's at 300K. The dude said it would moon. the thing is with this is I always just change it to Ethereum because it's based off of all the chains, but all the topics, all the top action is going to be on. It's going to be on Solana, just because of the gas fees and everything like that. But you put it there's the America Party, and then the America Party. Book of Ethereum. The NASDAQ coin on the first page. Is Kekistan on the first page? Yep, there it is, Kekistan. Man, shit. Went to 8.4. We need NASDAQ to make a move. Fucking Kekistan went to 8.2. I was gonna buy Kekistan at 500K. What a missed opportunity. I was gonna buy it right here, 570K. It had a god I wouldn't call it a god candle, but Goon to a liberal woman wearing a MAGA hat and a USA t-shirt. What is that, your kink? Jeffrey Epstein coin. Yeah, I mean, the coin's got to be dead by now. It's at 158. Where's the H1B coin? Yeah, right. What happened to DMAGA? Yeah, DMAGA's still kicking. It's unfortunate what happened to DMAGA. It really is. It's a sad story. DMAGA. A disappointing result. As it's imagine it just does a god. Imagine Elon just says, "I'm dark MAGA again. I'm back on the MAGA bandwagon." No. Trump NATO deal. Yeah, I've heard some people talk about that. Just made a deal with NATO in which the U.S. will send weapons to Ukraine through NATO. NATO is paying for those weapons 100%. So, wow. So the United States is going to be NATO, but the European countries are going to pay for our weapons to give to Ukraine. My hopes and dreams crashed with DMAGA. Dude, I would be a mogul. I would become one of those. At this point, imagine if DMAGA did what it should have, which is probably run to like 700 million. The amount of money, the amount of coins my portfolio would be, this would be like a joke. I mean, sometimes you don't want that because it makes you not work hard. Where's North Korea trade deal? JK, but nice resorts. Yeah, they had that nice resort. I remember that video. I'm a mogul. That would have been interesting if I would have had a huge portfolio. That would have been nice because imagine that before the bull run. Oh. Blonde hair, blue green eyes, mogs you all. Are you gay? DMAGA was a scam. Are you surprised it wasn't a big scandal? No, it was just a meme coin based off of Trump. Trump's actual coin, or are you talking about Trump's actual coin? Yeah, Trump's coin is not, it's not great what that was. And it also destroyed the meme coin market as well. Mog coin. Yeah, Mog coin is another one. What is Mog coin at right now? 500 million? Mog coin. Oh, Yeah, this dude's gonna come back. DMAGA wasn't even yeah, but the thing is with DMAGA, dude, when you think about it, with how Musk moves the crypto markets, him just coming out in the hat and saying he's dark MAGA, it should have pumped the coin at least to like 50 million. I'm confident it should have. Like, you could say he's not serious about it, but when he came out in that hat, Trump 2028, yeah, well, yeah. Does your room get hot with the computer equipment? Yes, it does get hot. Well, this room just get... I'm not going to go over it again. But the room gets hot because of the way the sun sets. That's really why the room gets hot. But now it's it's actually past 10 o'clock right now. Because I went on later. So the room has not... It's colder now. Or it's not as cold as my actual bedroom, but it's colder. I mean, there's all this talk. You bring a girl on stream. It's just awkward. It's just this constant stuff with asking about dating. Dark MAGA. I think Trump suppressed the coin. What if Trump would have just... What if Trump said, I'm just making an investment? My media company. Wait, what about the... what is that called? World Liberty Financial Institution. 2.1 million. Yeah, this is it right here. This, I think, is it, but it's not tradable or something. This is the meme coin. Oh, this meme coin. It was already at 300K. This is the meme coin for Trump's World Liberty Financial. They're creating a coin, but I don't think it's tradable. You got to get out of Ohio. Would I date anyone from Springfield, Ohio? Dude. Or East Palestine? It's bad what happened. That was Buttigieg's fault. They blew up that train on purpose. With that city right there, because they said it was going to go to a higher populated place. It's terrible. These things happen to Ohio. Why? This is the other thing that I was going to say. Look at Massachusetts. Look at Vermont. Look at Rhode Island. Look at these countries in the Northeast. They're extremely liberal. They've got heavy white populations. Why is Ohio getting 50 or 30,000 Haitians? They're the ones that voted for the Haitians. They vote for that shit. Ohio doesn't vote for 30,000 Haitians. We're a Republican state. Stop sending us the Haitians. Massachusetts, they vote for Haitians. We don't vote for Haitians. Why do we get sent Haitians? Send them to Massachusetts. They vote liberal every election by fucking 40 points. Why do we get the Haitians? So there's the rant. Yeah, a collab with Chris Christie would be nice. Yeah, I am scared for my cat. In Maryland is extremely liberal here. We've been getting texts that the new Trump bill is the end of the world. Well, I'm sure. Yeah, Maryland's very liberal. Why do you say the dude blew up the train? Well, so it was a controlled It was controlled. They did it because it was bound to. they thought it was going to blow up. The story was like they thought it was going to blow up near a higher populated center, so they blew it up before. And it was a bunch of shit that just went into the air and, you know, went into the water. And that's why you saw videos of the water looking like gasoline was infected into it. What's your best guess on main news cycle topic next week? I feel like that's hard to do. I would have to look at Trump's itinerary, honestly. A lot of it is dependent on who visits the White House or what he's doing. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes there's just news that comes out. You know, hopefully it's nothing about the Middle East, but yeah, there are situations in the Middle East that have to be solved. It's probably going to have to do with Russia. I mean, especially if he sanctions Russia like this. They're announcing Trump is announcing something. People are saying, everyone says it's going to be sanctions, and so there's a ramp-up effort to help Ukraine, it looks like. If you do a calculation of volume, the entire BP oil spill was equivalent to 2 drops of oil in a 25,000 gallon swimming pool. Well, yeah, because you're talking about the fucking ocean. Didn't that happen off Louisiana? That happened in the Gulf? Oh my goodness. You hate color person? Well, thank you for the donation. Yeah, you've got you're the one with the you got the troll name. Yeah, Gulf of America, that's right. Dude, that troll account, I mean, but I don't appreciate that name. I really don't. I could understand a good troll, but no, there's not going to be any amnesty. There's going to be some temporary program. People are going to say it's amnesty, though. I don't know what it's going to be exactly. Are you drinking a large glass of warm water? Well, I haven't. I ran out of my water. If you guys don't, like an hour ago, my mouth is dry now. My mouth is dry. See how I haven't had to piss once because I didn't drink too much during this stream. But I sacrifice the pissing sessions for a dry mouth. It's the dry mouth or it's pissing sessions. So one of the two is gonna happen. So usually, you know, so I haven't pissed once. Look up the Texas special sessions priorities. What does that have to do with gerrymandering the state? I'm gonna have to cut the stream before the 4-hour mark. You have to seek medical attention for the, well, it's a little TMI. No, I know, I get it. I'm an attractive guy. I get it. Yeah, it really is a messed up name. Like the thing is there's a lot of people that they've got my name and their username. That's fine. But when you do something like, I mean, that's just, is it really necessary? I mean, I understand it's the internet, and so you get hit with this stuff a lot, but I would honestly, this is how thirsty I am. I'll just have a fucking DoorDash person get it, and it'll be fine. Listen, if I could have an assigned DoorDash person that I could pick, if I could pick the DoorDash person, you know, I would be using the service more, I think. I think I would. But if you're going in blind You're telling me I'm going in blind with people handling my food? It's a problem. We need assigned DoorDash people. We need assigned DoorDash people. We have repertoire with them, and we will tip well. I'll tip the person well. What characteristic is yeah, there's some important characteristics, but my crypto's doing really well. My crypto is really it's all up. It's all up. My 4chan coin is going back up. My NASDAQ is going up. Just about to just blow up. My base SPX is starting to go up. My SPX 2.0 is going up. My DXY is going up. So it's all going up right now. I mean, but we need it to boom. We need it to boom. Come on. Why are you always flexing your massive crypto wealth? Not all of us can afford running out of water and burning alive in a sunroom. Well, it's not a sunroom. You know what? There's actually this thing that I wanted to show. They constantly people always ask what this is. This is a sunroom. Do people not realize this is a sunroom? You can tell it's a sunroom. People like, what is this? We don't know what this room is. It's a sunroom. I don't have a sunroom. A sunroom is a nice accessory to a home. It is. It's a nice accessory. It's an interesting thing that might have to, if I have a house, I might have to, I want to build the house. Well, not me personally. But it'll be a new build when I get my house. You can put your plants in there and pretend you're outside but you're inside. It's a nice accessory. An indoor pool is a nice accessory as well. Indoor pools are cool. You know, I don't like outdoor pools. It doesn't look good. I'm not going to have an outdoor pool. Or probably, maintaining an outdoor pool is hard. There's something weird about outdoor pools, even in-ground ones. Even the in-ground ones, I think, just... I'd rather have grass than a pool. But it's just... But I mean, hot tubs are nice. Which sport would you love to see battle of the sexes? Well, I mean, because it's been such a hot... I'd like to see NBA versus WNBA. Because you can't really do football. That's cruel. Maybe softball versus baseball. Melania concentrating on Barron's education. Yeah, I mean, I guess. But she's never normally in the spotlight anyways. Indoor pools are way easier to keep. Yeah, they just cost a lot more, but yeah, indoor pools are much easier. Yeah, I think winter is better. The hot tub situation is interesting, though. You want an outdoor hot tub, but you don't want to go out in the cold to get to the hot tub. Maybe an indoor hot tub would be better. That's an interest. Maybe a hot tub with a bunch of windows look outside. But I say the fall is the best. But I mean, I would honestly, I would like the sun to be up a little bit longer. I do think they probably need to change that daylight savings. You know, I was originally against them changing it. I think it would be better. I'd like to get more because you know, I don't mind it getting dark early, but like 5 o'clock, I think is a bit aggressive. You can't walk 10 feet in the cold to get into your crypto hot tub. Well, I mean, it's freezing cold, but getting out is the big issue because you're already superheated. Get out of it. That's the problem with the outdoor hot tubs. But I mean, that's like a cold plunge almost, getting out of it in 20-degree weather. Try 4:30. Yeah, if you're on the really East Coast, it's 4:30. Barron seems very quiet, not normal at an age like him. Yeah, I think Barron is. You would think he would be a bit more talkative. I mean, look at Kai Trump and what she has compared to Barron. You know, I know they're not. You know, Kai is the daughter of Don Jr., but just in a general sense, you would think Barron would at least do a few podcasts. I think I'll get Barron to come on and he'll do, but Barron at some point is going to have to do some type of podcast or something because he just hasn't talked. How awesome would it be if the sun in the fall, if the sun stayed out till like 8:30? That would be awesome. Or like 8. It kind of does, but half the comments on Kai's channel are begging Barron to come on. I mean, I bet he hasn't said anything. In Canada, near the Arctic Circle, doesn't it do that? Well, yeah, it's wonked. It gets wonked when you get up to where the North Pole is the sun because, you know, there's areas where Alaska is really weird too. The sun won't set I mean, during the summer, the sun doesn't set for like 50 days. Technically, I mean, it gets dark kind of, but it's in a constant state of dusk basically for like 8 hours of the day, so it doesn't get pitch black. Don Jr. I think Don Jr. he doesn't seem like he would be all that likable. Just I don't know. I mean, I don't have anything against Don Jr., but fake Epstein client list drops tomorrow. What is that, a rumor? How many other channels do you have? No, that's it. That's the only channel. I actually do have, that's the only channels where there's any videos. Any legitimate videos at all, yeah. There's really I only have one channel. I mean, the other channels are very small. If I wanted to try and build up, you know, another channel, I probably already should have done it. Chris, so what's up, man? Dude, I remember I remember you from like fucking 2023. Maybe actually probably like 2022. What about asking Grok for a list of possible upcoming rumors so you can buy the rumor in crypto? I don't know. I'm good. I will use Grok because all I use is ChatGPT, but now they've got the upgraded version. I'm waiting for ChatGPT 5 to come out. But I'll have to use Grok and I ask it for certain certain coins, and sometimes it gets a lot of the coins that ChatGPT gives me are kind of bullshit. So I'm like, all right, give me 5 different sub 10 million market cap coins. Predict for me the next AI narrative based off of the previous narratives being cloud storage infrastructure and AI agents. And then it's like, here's the 5 coins. And the first one's like 350 million market cap. I mean, come on. The things don't even know. They can't even detect the market cap. 2021 March Madness days and vlogs been busy recently, but when you see me live, 2021, man, that had to have been the start of any traction on my channel. You probably had like 500 subscribers. 2021 March Madness, maybe even less than that, honestly. Maybe like 100 or 200. I might have to look that up. How do you get a personal DoorDash person? Am I able to choose my DoorDash? Can I see the DoorDash person before ordering? And then they'd respond, they'd be like, you racist piece of shit. That's what they'd respond like. ChatGPT over Grok. Yeah, but I mean, everyone's been talking about Grok recently, so I think maybe I'll try it out. Have another channel with conspiracy stories like you talk about and make this DG live? Well, no, this is the channel. I mean, this is where my videos go. This is where my videos go. There's no point in making other channels. I don't have the fan base would be stretched way too thin. So it doesn't make sense. I mean, I think there was maybe a time where I could have done it and maybe it would have grown. Like if I made a separate politics channel, but I don't even know. I mean, the politics videos still did well. Grok is way better with the current news. Yeah, I can see that 100% because it picks it right off than ChatGPT. I've just gotten so many people consistently say overall ChatGPT is better. It just is in terms of its nuance and the information. But sometimes ChatGPT will give out blatantly false information, but I think they just all do that. DJings, DG2, that's what they are. Isn't there some news you can react to? Well, the only news is the tariffs, I think. Well, there's always news, with the internet now. There'll always be something. These are probably going to be videos if I had to guess. Yeah. Videos and coding.
Give us an opera on Diet Coke.
Oh, an opera on Diet Coke. That's a riot.
Ha, that sounds like my song.
Picture this, a shimmering silver can glistening under stage lights. Oh, Diet Coke, thou elixir divine, with bubbles that dance in a sparkling line. Thy crisp, cool kiss on lips so fine. Oh, aspartame, ambrosia, forever mine. How's that for a
aspartame? Isn't that like something you put in diet drinks? It's fake sugar.
mad little aria? Want me to belt out another verse or switch up the tune?
Give us an opera.
The UK is about to explode. Well, there actually is news then. Isn't aspartame cancerous? I think that's a wise tale. I don't think that's real. Man, I just heard a coyote. Wow. You skipped something about Air India. It's about the crash. You want to see what it is? Boeing's 787 Dreamliner's pilot turned off fuel flow switches, causing loss of engine thrust shortly after takeoff. No indication of aircraft issues so far. Did you see the shortest day in history yesterday? The Earth is spinning faster today and tomorrow. It's trending. Can you pull it up? What, the shortest day by like a bazillionth of a second, maybe? Because of how fast the Earth spun? What's the end game with Epstein? Do you think they'll continue to sweep it under the rug? Or they'll release more? I think it's very complicated. We're starting to kind of think that there's so many people involved, and so many of the people are just because of just the amount of people that went to the island and were involved with Epstein. It would cause such a problem within the government that they're saying it's just not worth it to release it. I mean, but couldn't you release part of it? Maybe. I guess it's just complicated. I don't know. Can you cover the Iran threats on Trump? Yeah, what they threatened to kill him. I mean, dude, the problem with that is a lot of that could just be, Israeli fearmongering. I guess some of it might be real. It's hard to really tell how much of that is actually real. I feel like Iran they would like their country would be, they've got a big country and they've got a country that has, built up cities and built up infrastructure. If they killed the president of the most important country in the powerful country in the world, they would be obliterated. So why would they think that that would be a good idea? I mean, I don't know what we would do to them, but it would end extremely, extremely bad for them. Like they would be set back decades. Trump's inauguration. If you asked everyone who had been on Epstein's plane or Epstein Island to raise their hand, like half of them would be, including Trump, Melania, right? I don't think Trump and Melania went there. I think it somehow would have came out if Trump and Melania went there. .6 milliseconds faster than a normal day. Yeah, here it is right here. Well, since 2020, Earth has been spinning slightly faster. Have you seen a road judge block ice at Home Depot in California? Oh, it's terrible. They've been doing it over and over again. They keep blocking the deportations. It just goes this way. I think a lot of this they're not even able to do it. They can't. They're just going to be ignored. They're going to be ignored. We're getting cheated out of time. By milliseconds, yeah. But our aging process doesn't move up. Imagine if we aged by a few more milliseconds faster. Thoughts on terrible drivers? Yeah, I mean, I don't drive a ton to be too angry about it. My city just became overcrowded. You can't really go out during the day. Like at noon, it'll just be so overcrowded, and it's just annoying. But Epstein invested in something that was co-founded by Peter Thiel. If judges want to claim contempt over ignored injunction, the plaintiff has to pay for enforcement if they are wrong. Well, maybe that'll add accountability and they'll stop. I mean, you'd hope they would stop doing it. Remember you were driving showing Halloween decorations? Yeah, Halloween decorations. You know, there's more and more Halloween decorations nowadays every year. There really are. Do you like John Cena as a professional wrestler? Well, he was the GOAT. You know, when I was younger, like 2012, I would watch WWE. And he always had the world championship belt. He'd be in the pay-per-views. They did the pay-per-views and it was like a big thing. You had to pay like $60 for it, and then they switched to the WWE network, and then it was cheaper. Thoughts on Elon's buddy not getting a NASA gig? Well, I think that was the big problem, right? The head of NASA that Elon wanted had donated to Democrats, and Trump said we're not gonna hire, I'm not gonna recommend this guy, and Musk got really angry about it. John Cena, Randy Orton beef. You remember Ryback, the big fella? Remember Bray Wyatt, the Wyatt family? The dudes in the onesie? We're here. Yeah, the Patriot Act oxymoron. Yeah, calling it the America Party. It's like you're trapping us. It's too good to be true. Bray Wyatt sadly passed away. Yeah, I do remember that. That was a big story. I saw that when Bray Wyatt died. Elon got quiet after Grok went full Nazi. Well, you know what happened was Elon said they were gonna change it. They were gonna open it up a little bit, and so I guess that was the update in which they opened it up. But I mean, it had to have been planned because you know they were releasing Grok 4 the day after. So I wonder if they were just experimenting. Yeah, there definitely is a poly market on Pam Bondi possibly resigning. It's the next person to resign within the administration. Or the next person to get fired or leave. I don't know what it is. But let me see the new ones. Yeah, Ken Paxton, I would imagine, will win that primary for the Republican primary. Ceasefire and basically pump fun. I gotta see the crypto stuff. BTC price in July, 120K, 68%. Ethereum price, 4,000. Imagine Ethereum 4,000. I mean, it was at 4,000 like 7 or 8 months ago. Give me some meme coin predictions. U.S. National Bitcoin Reserve 2025. $4 to $6 billion fully diluted day one market cap for Pump Fund. It is crazy how you can make a meme coin and it'll just go to $1 billion. That's what I was just insane. Man, China's really not going to unban it, are they? I thought there was a chance they were going to do that. I guess really, not really. There's like no memes here. Pepe ETF. There's not gonna be a Pepe ETF. Are all meme coins shit coins? Well, I mean, it depends what you mean by. I mean, pretty much. There's a lot of the utility coins are shit coins. They have very little utility. But in general, I mean, yeah, meme coins. Some meme coins do have utility in certain senses, but yeah, it's just based off of the community. Wyoming launches a freaking stablecoin. Wyoming. Good to see Wyoming getting in the crypto game. Palantir in full effect at the SoCal protests. What are they getting all the facial recognition on them? You have a question? I don't know. I don't watch whatever that is. What is it? MMA? All right, guys. That's going to do it for this live stream. I'm going to end it there. I'm going to end it there. Look at my coins and stuff. I'll see you guys. No, I don't watch UFC, man. Adios. Adios.